Hello, how are you? I'm Brad. Nice to meet you.
Oh, God.
This is Casey. We're at the Do or Do Not podcast.
Time out.
No, this is rolling.
Time
We have very
out.
limited time.
Time out.
I'm glad you could
Dude,
join us today.
You got to do the introduction like we do the introduction.
No, this is my introduction.
Your introduction sucks.
Hello. You'll notice that I have the large microphone today.
I would just like to say that I disagree with his introduction, but we'll just roll with it.
We're rolling. We have a lot to talk about. We have Mr. Sore Throat over here, so he's going to let me do a lot of talking finally.
I'm not. We're
going to do
especially with that opening. Why would I let you do a lot of talking? Hi, everybody.
It's for the ladies.
I'm Brad.
It's for the ladies. Hello, ladies. How are you?
All right, so let's get going today.
I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
Casey Wilson, owner of Roseville Strength and Conditioning. And part of Roseville Strength and Conditioning is the RECOUP Room. I have a 120 square foot room here that has a bunch of rehab and recuperation tools for your post-workout needs and your injury needs. Sometimes just your relaxation needs. So I'm going to show you some stuff today and go over kind of what it does and how it'll benefit you. But also just to touch on, I have a massage chair. It's a very nice massage chair. And a massage your whole body, has a bunch of different settings, heated, works on your feet, it works on everything. It's great. I have a recliner chair in there that we do a lot of our stuff. So some of that stuff would be sitting and doing compression therapy. This is a leg compression sleeve by Normatec. So it's a nice recliner. I'll go over what it does in a little while.
For those who are listening, he held up a compression sleeve.
If you're listening and not watching, you're missing out because, Brad's a very handsome man, and you want to see him showing off his massive shoulders that have no problems and defects whatsoever.
None. And I like to podcast shirtless for those who are only listening.
Well, yeah. Well, pantsless.
And pantsless.
Assless chaps for those that are just only listening.
In that RECOUP room. What I do in there, you might want to wipe it down before you go in there because I like to go full Monty.
I will just say that Brad's never been allowed in the RECOUP room, even though he probably needs it.
Smart.
So I also had that recliner. We do it. That's where you sit. It's very comfortable. You do a bunch of the stuff, the therapies that I'm going to go over in it. I have an infrared spa where you sit in it. It's a one-person spa. We zip you in, and it gets up to 140 degrees in it. We have icing. I have a roller ball that stays frozen for or very cold for up to 8 hours. I have ice packs, and those are things that I'm not showing here. And then I'm going to go over some stuff with you. So the thing about recuperation, what really, what really helped all these tools for getting better after your workouts?
Tell me.
A little thing that popped up in the early 2000s called CrossFit. CrossFit goes balls to the wall. There's nothing wrong with it. Back in the old days, I think they went a little aggressive, and a lot of people that were out of shape got hurt. But nowadays, I think it's very well refined and very well done. And the only the problem in the past was people could just kind of open up their box, and there was no regulate. They just kind of did it themselves. They got a level 1 course, and they could go and open up. And there was a lot of no oversight. So some people just got injured doing these movements. Nowadays, I think it's very refined. I think it's much better. But when you push your body to extremes, you're going to have injuries, or you're going to have knots, and you're going to have muscles that are sore and strained. And so there's a lot of tools that have been developed over the last 20 years to help recover. And I would say CrossFit helps speed that up. Some of it was already evident. We already had some of it in myofascial release using foam rollers and balls. There was some of this already going on, but just speeding up the process of recuperation.
What about old people like me who get hurt just sleeping wrong?
Yeah, that's a problem.
When you get to my age, sleeping can be a pretty dangerous
Brad is
activity.
Injury prone.
Yeah.
So
there's
ways. Most people get hurt not exercising. So if you get hurt, I honestly have never injured somebody, had an accident. I've had people get sore, maybe a little muscle strain here and there if they're coming in and doing sports performance training or bodybuilding type stuff, like they're really we're lifting heavier weights to help them put muscle on.
But you have broken my heart and hurt my feelings.
Well, I do that on occasion.
Physically, you've never
Most
hurt
of the time
anybody.
not.
Emotionally-
Only pretty much with the guys like Brad.
Yeah.
Then,
Emotionally, I've been shattered by this, man. But go ahead.
So
Can your recoup room mend a broken heart?
no,
Okay.
that it cannot
Checking.
do. That's just time and understanding.
All right. Just checking.
But what it can do is help you recover from injuries, help you for sore muscles, help you get back into the workout room the next day and still feel pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, wherever you're doing your workouts at. So if you're pushing your body hard, or even if you're sleeping hard like this guy, you have aches and pains, you have problems as you get older. I know I'm 50, he's 50. We have a lot more recovery issues than we had when we were younger.
I think that's
So
the truth.
a lot of these things have to do with myofascial release. They have to do with stimulating blood flow to areas that will help the recovery process. So I'm going to go over a few of these things that I have around the gym. Some of them are my own personal ones, and some of them are stuff that I use in the recoup room. So here's a oldie but a goodie. This is a foam roller, or a form of it. This one has a hole in the middle. It's a little fancier. It has a lot of knobs on it. It's my preferred one, but I also have a half a foam roller here too that I use in group class to release muscles. So basically, let's say you have a really sore muscle. So I have somebody roll over their back, and then when they're rolling, they go, "Oh, it really hurts right here." Well, that's an area that is, you go, whatever, knot, bound up, adhesion, all kinds of different things you can say about it, but it's an area that's a problem. And so what you do is you focus on it and you roll on it and you put pressure. Sometimes you roll over it. Sometimes you just apply pressure. You lean into it a little bit. There's little manipulations that you're going to do when you're going to find those spots, and you're going to lean into it. And what am I doing, Brad, for the people that are listening? I'm twisting my body to like hit that spot, just in the right spot, like a bear scratching the tree, you know? So you're trying to find that spot. So that's a great way to use a foam roller, is to just roll over areas that are sore, areas you just worked out. If you feel like you got some limitations in an area, you roll over it. With that being said, there's also stuff like mobility balls. These also, I use these more than I use foam rollers because I target areas that I have problems with on a consistent basis. And so this targets a smaller area, and you can roll up and down over just like a foam roller, but you're going to get more intensity because it's a smaller surface, and you're going to be able to hit certain areas a little better than a foam roller can. This is a cupper. It's an automated cupper. I am not a masseuse. I never got certified. I'm pretty good at it, but I'm not a masseuse. I do not massage people. I'll show you in a second a hand massager where I will massage people with it if they have like really tight areas and we're trying to work those areas, or
I often enjoy our sensual massages that you've given me.
There is
our own recoup room.
No sensual massages going on here. Just rehabilitation exercise.
Wi-Fi
massages. So with this,
break out the hot oils.
Yeah, none of that going on.
Shirtless.
Definitely none of that going on.
Gray chest hairs, rub it against your back.
Not.
Where are we? What are we talking about again? I'm sorry. Suction cups.
This is a cupper. So there's manual ones where you use and you withdraw that you suck. They have a little tool and they suck the air out of it, and it's suction cups and it pulls up. There's also these great automated ones, and I have 3 of these in the recoup room. And if you notice, right now it's in a stage where it's just, you see this blue light. When you actually cup it, you'll see red light. So it has red light therapy and the actual cupping. And what that cupping is doing, let me get it off my arm before I get a suction cup mark. What that cupping is doing is you're getting red light therapy, and it's a cupping massage where you're sucking inflammation out of an area. I do this on my shoulders, and don't make any comments.
I saw 12 years old, man.
I saw you over there going, "Who's sucking it out, isn't it?"
And releasing.
I was just like,
my head is exploding.
I use this a lot on my shoulders.
I bet you do.
And like, I'll leave bruised areas. My shoulders get pretty inflamed, and like, I'll cup both sides and the side and the back of my shoulders. Sometimes if I'm loose enough, you have to be able to really draw in the skin if you're really tight.
All in.
Yeah. So this is great for that.
And some other things.
Don't listen to Brad.
How good is that suction?
There's no other things. Also, when it comes down to myofascial release, these old school rollers. So this thing has like little rollers on it, and you can go over. I use this on my quads if they get really
Would
sore.
you call
really
that
knotted
a
up.
stick for the people who are only listening? Like, this really is a show that you should switch over to the YouTube.
Yeah, this is a good one to start watching this on YouTube. So this is a roller, this is a stick, and basically you would just put this like on your thigh, or you can do it on the back of your leg. You can do it, on your wherever, core, calves, wherever you want to do it. I use it mostly. I usually do it mostly for my upper legs whenever I'm having issues. But it's just a good old school tool to use. A lot of my clients will use it. They can just go grab it. It's over by the foam rollers. And if they're really feeling sore in certain areas, they can roll it out. This is a Tim Tam Pro massager. They're very nice. It has 3 speed settings. It also actually has a heating element that you can turn the heat on. I never do that. I don't worry about it. But I use it for massaging and working on knots. So if you notice, you turn it on, and that's the highest setting, and you see the vibration going on. But this one's very quiet. This is a more up-to-date model. Their Pro model, and it's much quieter. The old ones would make 3 times this sound.
For those who aren't watching, you really should watch, because that was something. Okay, that was something. I also feel like we're getting a sneak peek of what Casey does on a lonely Friday night.
I think you are a pervert. That's
oh my gosh!
We got ourselves a pre-bird over here.
Was a massage.
So an example of what you would do with this, and this is what I do with it a lot, is I work on my neck and shoulders. I work on my quads, my glutes, my hamstrings, my calves if they're real tight after a run. And you work those areas over. Let's say you have a really sore bicep. This is great for digging in there.
Dig it in there. Dig it deep.
This.
All right, now he's pulling an electric-looking
This is
zapper.
A Compex electric stimulation therapy TINS device. A lot of people know it as. A lot of people buy cheap versions of this. This is a more obviously expensive and a more industrial model. And there's bigger one. There's even bigger, fancier ones too. But this one has spots where you can put 4 cords in. And what it does is it stimulates, it draws. So electrical stimulation will cause your muscles to contract.
Yeah.
And so it'll do a rhythm like a massage, like it's massaging the muscle. It'll contract, lose the contraction, contract it, cause it to. Sometimes there's some vibrational aspects to it too. And so what that does is it draws blood into the area, and it also relaxes the muscles because you're getting almost like a massage with electrical stimulation.
Do you break that out in front of date night?
Shut up.
Like,
Jesus.
Hold on, I just got to go to the bathroom real quick, lady. Let me just go in here and
let me go get myself stimulated. My favorite thing to do besides the massage chair is compression therapy.
Right, so now he's pulling out a big
leg sleeve.
So
this area right here plugs into a device which pumps air into this sleeve and causes it to compress onto your leg. That compression, it's a massage too. You'll feel it. It'll go through cycles over a 20-minute cycle where it compresses and it's really tight, and then it'll relax and get really tight, or it gets really tight on certain areas and it'll go through cycles. But it stays a lot of compression. And what that compression does, you think of the old Rice principle: rest, ice, compression, elevate.
I don't know why
you got the compression. You got the compression aspect. Everybody knows Rice.
I just like
it's 50 years old. Everybody knows Rice.
How tight it is, followed by the release.
Yeah. So I have a hip and 2 leg sleeves that we use, and so it just helps refresh your legs. You'll get a lot of blood flow there when you get done doing it. I always feel like when I get up and I start walking, I go, oh, well, now my legs feel like they're really loosened up and feeling good, and that's the main thing that you want to get with those type of things. So the main thing is to keep you working out, to keep your performance up, to have one day that you work out and you put a lot of effort in, and then the next day you want to come in and work out really hard. These things help get you there. Also great for relaxation. Let's say you're at lunch and you go, oh, you know what? I would really like to go sit in the massage chair and just have some of my back work. You can do that too.
What I do when you're not here is,
the room is locked with codes. He cannot get in.
I break his code because it's 1111, and then I get a nice chilled glass of.
How did you know it was 1111?
And I slip on to something a little bit more comfortable, like my assless chaps. I put on just one sleeve. I prefer usually the right leg. I want to keep the left leg loose and moving. Strap on the electrodes to get myself primed and ready.
None of this happens in here. I would just like to say, none of this happens. Brad doesn't do any of this.
Rub some
Nobody does any of
massage
this.
oil and turn on Ahsoka. And then I just do a little bit of a nipple rub. And then I just get into my Star Wars groove. And then when I finish, when I am fully relaxed, I sometimes clean up and close the door and act like nothing happened. But on a serious note,
I should have known. I should have done like a little clipper podcast.
The first time you came out, like, oh, this is about suction, I just about fainted. I had so many things I wanted to say.
I knew. I'm just sitting here going, God damn, Brad's sitting over there, just like he has a million things he wants to say.
I'm you know what? You're going to be receiving texts all weekend of things that I've missed. Like I'll go home and be like, oh my God, I just thought of something funny I should have said.
Oh my God. So anyway, let's get serious aspect.
Okay, now what's the ratio of like doing some of this stuff before you work out and after? Like obviously, like when we do group, you make us roll around on the foam stuff before to kind of loosen up.
And what else are you doing?
We stretch. You do active stretches. We do all of this. Is it helpful to go back and do those foam things again? Because when we're done with group, you're just like, get the hell out of here.
Well, your time's up, so.
Hey, I'm not here doing this for free.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
So, is it good to do it afterward? Like,
it definitely,
okay.
It doesn't hurt to do it afterwards. Before I work out, I have a whole routine of stretching. Yeah. I roll on the ball. And then I use the hand massager on my areas that I'm going to work out. Like,
what areas would those be?
That would be my neck and shoulders every time. And then a lot of time my legs have been really sore this week, doing some heavier weight training this week. So my legs were real sore. So I used it on my legs also.
Okay, so before and after.
Along with a lot of stretching too. I have a whole routine that I go through. It's about 15 to 18 minutes long. But for recovery, I do most like the compression therapy, those type of things. I do it afterwards. Or if I have it, really knotted up or I'm having problems cupping, I do those afterwards.
And you like to hit the massage chair after you deal with me for an extended time.
Good
you
Lord.
Just need some type of a break.
I need something. I need to go get an actual. And I'm a big proponent of having. I have a good massage therapist. If anybody in the Roseville, Rockland, Lincoln area needs a good massage therapist, I have a good one. So it doesn't substitute for those things. If you want to keep your body healthy, take care of it. The RECOUP Room is one option. Massage therapy, chiropractic. You got to do maintenance on your body. Working out really hard is great, but it'll break down if you're working out too hard. And that's where you go too far on certain things, is you push and push and push, and stuff will eventually break. That's why you have to do maintenance. Now, when you're 25 years old, you may not think you have to do it. I didn't. I tore a rotator cuff back then, but, in general, I worked out like a madman 6 days a week and didn't really have to recover.
But man, you get into the mid to late 40s.
Yeah, your body just doesn't recover the same. So something like the RECOUP Room, which is inside Roseville Strength and Conditioning, and is not expensive compared to some of the other more expensive exclusive places where they don't do training they just actually do rehab. Some of the stuff you can get here is the same as what you're getting there, like the Normatec compression sleeves, cupping, the Normatec electric stimulation device. Shut up.
Oh, that's my favorite.
These things. And like the hand massager is something that I will only work on like with clients that are really tight in certain areas. I'll help them out. I use it myself a lot. But if somebody has an injury,
use it on me, and I say,
I've never once used it on Brad.
Get deep into the groin, Casey.
Yeah,
deep into the groin. Just work it. Just get your hands down there and knead that dough.
You're truly trying to get like
the
bear population into
I'm
this.
trying to get any followers we can.
West Hollywood, San Francisco.
You know what? We try to get the silver singles crowd, get some of the older ladies out. And if they're not coming through, we're just going to go for the bear market.
Anyway, Brad's definitely going for that. I am not. So basically, you just got to take care of your body, and these are tools to do it. And a lot of it just comes down to basic stimulating your body. It comes down to getting blood flowing to areas. It comes into myofascial release, where you're actually putting pressure on areas that will cause the muscles to relax. Yes, but that's because we're talking about how to fix the body. We're not talking anything sexual.
Blood flow.
So that's an option for you. It's the RECOUP Room. You can check it out. You can connect to it from my website, rosevillese.com, or it also has its own separate thing. You can actually purchase therapies on it. If you're in the Placer County area and want to come use it, you just have to do that, and then you'll be able to send me an email, and I can get you set up and contacted.
Code word Brad. You can use it with me. Maybe we'll have a glass of wine together.
I'll
be in the
Brad
right,
does not use
left
it.
sleeve. You can be in the left leg sleeve, and we'll just watch some Ahsoka together in a RECOUP Room.
All right, now let's move on.
Finally
to Ahsoka, because before Brad loses his mind over there, and we only have like 20 minutes to go.
Yeah,
because we have a limited time window today in betwing
some of my clients to work and make money.
So
I don't know.
Yeah, some of us have to make money and train clients. So episode 4 and 5. If you read a lot of the reviews and you watch a lot of stuff by people, people are getting pretty damn excited about Ahsoka. Before we get into the show,
love it.
Let's pay tribute to Dave Filoni.
We're not worthy. We're not. You know what? I would like to.
Did you get the clip I sent you?
Flow.
Did you get the clip I sent you?
Of course.
This morning with George Lucas and Dave Filoni?
Yes.
Master.
There's always
George
two.
Lucas. There's always two. Dave Filoni, The Apprentice. I loved it. It was very well done. It was an Instagram reel. But Disney, you want to dig yourself out of this financial hole and have some gosh darn. Look at that. I didn't even say. I'm getting good at the cussing.
Oh my gosh.
You want to have this guy.
Back.
Now we're rated X because of all your sexual shit you talked about. But before we go back, before we go back. No.
I would like to cleanse Filoni's blood flow and do some hand massage with some suction. Look, man, I am man enough to say you set it up. I can't.
What I'm trying to do is say, hey, Disney, you want to stop bombing? You start being honorable to the freaking material. You start representing what Star Wars is and Ahsoka is, because people who don't even know Star Wars can watch it and they get that sense of awe, that sense of another galaxy, that sense of the Force, that good feeling you get. You get that, and you don't even have to know you didn't even have to watch Rebels. It would make it way better if you watch Rebels.
You got to at least watch season 4 of Rebels.
But with that being said, this is just a really good show and being very well done. And when I get done watching, I think this is Star Wars, not the crap sequel trilogy, which I am not a fan of. And I know some of you out there probably are, because you are who you are. You're not judgmental as I am when it comes to Star Wars.
That's because they haven't read the Legacy. And
they haven't read. They have no knowledge of the. If they read everything and they still said, well, and some people just like go, I like anything Star Wars. Everything Star Wars is Star Wars. I'm like, all right, fine, great. Can
we talk about how we need more Hera butt shots? Because there's just not enough of them, and they are.
Dude, you're really in the toilet water today.
Got me going with.
You're down in the gutters
suction
today.
And release,
dude.
But I'm not the only one. That's like half of Twitter is like. There's at least 7 butt shots per episode.
I have a lot of respect. I have a lot of respect for Ewan McGregor, and so I am not going to comment on Hera's butt.
Hello there.
All right, I'm lying. It's a great ass. All right,
let's move on.
All right, now let's move on. And I respect you, Obi-Wan. Do not get angry with me, but your wife is a smoke show.
Yeah.
And she plays Hera. If anybody who didn't know, who isn't very tapped into Star Wars, is Hera is played by Elizabeth Winstead, which is Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi's wife in real life. What do they call it? Real
life?
Or They have like an abbreviation, like
There's
real
abbreviation for
RL, whatever.
everything.
I know.
Kids
I don't
these
even know.
days, you know, when I was growing up, we said the whole freaking name. Okay, we weren't lazy.
You typed like when I type, I type in complete sentences.
Yeah.
Not like sometimes I don't even know what the heck they're doing. I'm like, what does this mean? This emoji? What is this?
Yeah, you got like 2 kids.
I know most of them now, but you know, there's some of them which I don't know. Brad always sends me eggplant ones, and I don't know what that means.
Well, you know, you don't look it up. Don't look it up. It's better if you don't know.
But these last 2 episodes since we last did a podcast, these last 2 episodes have been the best.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
I totally
for all
agree.
of you who have not watched them, don't watch the next couple minutes. All right. All right. So Ahsoka has a battle with Baylan Skoll. Awesome battle. And you know what's great? What styles do you think you saw? Not actually Jedi styles. I know you like to make fun because I know all the Jedi or the 9 forms or the 7 forms or the 2 sub forms and stuff.
I watched a video on YouTube.
Yeah.
That broke down. I know this is kind of not what you were thinking, but broke down all 4 battle styles that Anakin used in the World Beyond Worlds.
Okay, but we're talking about Baylan Skoll versus
I'm just
Ahsoka.
saying that they're like, this is when Anakin was like this age, and he was using the second. And then when he switched,
that's
because
Dave Filoni is doing it.
Like second,
if Kathleen Kennedy was doing it, he would have been just doing this.
Yes.
You know, like,
anyways,
or he would have got some superpowers to like destroy everything because she doesn't understand Star Wars.
Going back to your question, it reminded me that you're not the only geek that like people are breaking down the different types.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, all right, how does Ahsoka? What does she look like when she's battling?
She's a double.
Think about Earth fighters.
I don't know.
She looks like a samurai. Her stance and the way she holds her sword like a katana, it's curved a little bit. Yeah. She looks like a samurai. What does Baylan Skoll look like?
I was gonna call him a samurai.
No, he looks like she is fighting with like stances like this.
Yeah.
And like this. He is always up. He fights like a knight with a big broadsword.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's a knight versus samurai battle. But when he actually defeats Ahsoka, she was also had grabbed the ball and was weakened.
Yeah.
And now we know that she's headed to find him. And we know she's not gonna go out to some weird galaxy. She's going there. And so she's gonna find him. So there's gonna be another battle between her and Skoll, and he's probably gonna die. But she wasn't at full power. She had been injured whenever she was defeated. But the battle between those 2 was
so good.
Awesome. And the 2 different styles and how she's quick and agile and moves like a samurai, and he was moving like a big, powerful knight, which is what he would be. It was awesome. With that being said, then if you want to get into Anakin and the different styles that he fought with over the years, as Vader and as Anakin.
Throw this in here as a former graphic designer and special effects guru. Those are some of the most beautifully compositive shots, like when Anakin was flickering into Darth Vader.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Like he was battling, and the next thing you know, his lightsaber went red. You know, and then he's coming out of the smoke and all of this. I was like, I actually stopped it a couple times and rewatched it just because of the way that they set up the shots and the colors. And
you know what you also?
All of that was gorgeous.
So what do yellow eyes indicate?
Sith.
Okay, what do red eyes indicate?
That I don't know.
All right, so when they went to the Mortis, which was the father, the daughter, and the son, the evil one is the son, right? What were his eyes?
I don't remember.
You watched Clone Wars, right?
No.
Oh, you never watched those?
No, I only watched Rebels.
Oh, you got to go back and watch that because there's a lot of stuff that I think is being brought, like Anakin being in the world between world and the way he was.
Yeah.
I think originally they were saying he needed to, in those episodes, he needed to take over being the father and kind of basically guiding. You know, he was so powerful, and the father wanted him to take over for him.
Yeah.
But the red eyes were the son, the evil one. And he had those red eyes, and I was like, oh, shit. And so, like, I was like, The only time I've seen red eyes like that, not yellow eyes, was the son. He had really bright red eyes, very memorable.
See,
in the cartoon.
they would do that little stuff now, like
because it's Filoni. He is the man.
He's like your level of geekness, but
Filoni is like the creator of geekness.
Yeah,
I'm just like I pick stuff up because I don't remember everything. Like I watch stuff, some of these geeks, and they start breaking stuff down. I'm like, what in the blue hell are they talking about? But I know enough that I can understand everything that's going on.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Twitter and people like Wikipedia and other people who were like pointing out some of the stuff that's going on in the Clone Wars, like, this, he looked exactly how he looked in the Clone War. And
there was Rex.
Yeah, like
there was a Maul DeLorean because when Maul took over Mandalore.
Yep. The
helmet that had the.
Yep.
I mean, there was some great detail in it.
But I know you got to go soon. But
we got 10 minutes.
As a kind of a macro view of those 2 episodes, it really felt like the first 3 were just kind of setting up kind of the story and the characters, and these 2 just kind of like plunged into the action. There wasn't a lot missing. I like how they set up that Hera's son is Force sensitive.
Yes.
I love how they got. I thought Anakin, Christian Haydenson did a wonderful job during that sequence. For someone like me who was kind of just looking at it in a very outside view and not in all the details, like I completely followed it.
Yeah.
Like, I choose to live, and then he's like, okay, now you're ready, and then she comes out, and
so then.
If I don't see
the water comes up around her.
Yeah.
And she's reborn into what?
She's wearing white. She's wearing her white outfit.
Ahsoka the white.
Yeah.
Gandalf the white. She's new and reborn and happy and smiling and excited because she chose life.
Yep. And I think that's
she let go of a lot of that shit. She basically had a transformation when she was in the world between worlds, and it was so well done.
It was
that water coming up around her, and then her being rescued, and I was just like, man, this is really well done.
Yeah,
this is what we want from Star Wars.
Yes, I watched that episode 3 times. 1, just because it was so beautifully shot. I thought 2, like I was trying to catch all the little hidden things, like you were saying. I'm like, I didn't even notice the yellow eyes at first, and then I went and saw on Twitter about like the horns on the Mandalore helmet, and I had to go watch that again. I'm like, it just like that was a perfectly used episode. I didn't feel like there was one of those throwaway episodes that they have in the Mandalorian, where they had Izzo and Jack Black or whatever. Like it seemed like every episode was pushing the story forward, and I felt like these last 2 episodes really were like ramping up the action to like the point where I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait till Tuesday, because
you have the first 2 episodes, in my opinion, which were that story. Because they're trying, if you never watched Rebels, they're trying to have the story without having to watch 4 seasons of Rebels.
Yeah, they're trying to cram 4 years worth of stuff into like 20 minutes of like, these are
they're trying to build the story and build the characters, and for the people who don't know, which I think they did a masterful job.
I did too.
I think you're way better off if you watch Rebels first, because then you're going to know so much more.
Well, Rebels is worth.
I almost want to go back. I watched Rebels, and I remember like all the stuff that's happening. But I almost like the books. Like it wasn't that long ago that I watched Rebels. I know you forget stuff, but I retain quite a bit of information.
I don't even remember what your name is.
And when I was like, going, man, I should maybe go back and watch Rebels again to see if I can pick up some more stuff when I'm watching. But I don't have the time to do it right now. But if I did, I would go back and watch it again. That's why I recommend people do it. Yeah. But they did a masterful job the first 2 episodes building the characters, the story, the background of what's going on. Where's Ezra, Thrawn, what they're doing. Number 3 became kind of like the chase, like they got to get somewhere.
It was
figure out what's going on
before the action.
And then 4 was all right. We found you.
Yep, let's go.
We know where you're at. Let's go.
Yep.
And they show stuff like how incompetent the New Republic is, and how they've lost their way from being a rebellion and being cutting edge to being bureaucrats and idiots. So they did a lot of great stuff in that aspect of it.
Yeah.
And then 5, it was just like, whoa.
It just set it all up for the final
you
two.
took Ahsoka, and she was one thing which you really liked.
Yeah.
But she's not a Jedi, she's not a Sith, she's just a Force user. And they took her and they made her into a baby face. Like she's not a heel, she's a baby face. So now she's in white. Now she's at peace. She's let go of all the old stuff. So now she can go out and do the things that she needs to do and maybe start being a leader along with. And here's the thing. All this is happening while Luke Skywalker, they mentioned Leia as a senator, but Luke Skywalker's around. He has the Jedi Academy thing he's building.
Kicking rocks.
Where's Luke going to be when you got 2 rogue Jedis or former Jedis or dark Jedis or whatever you want to call them, mercenary Jedis? Where's Luke? Luke could come in and just start whooping ass. But anyway, with that being said, he's not around. He could show up, at the end in the last episode or so. But we want to see Thrawn.
5 out of 5 kettlebells. I better see Thrawn next episode, because if they wait until like the last episode and the last 2 minutes, I'm gonna throw.
Yeah. If you want to know what I think is gonna happen, watch last episode, because I kind of went into what I think is gonna happen once they get to the other galaxy.
Yeah.
But Brad probably doesn't even remember. But when they get to the other galaxy, what I think is gonna happen. So, but I'm excited. Tuesday nights are must see.
Yeah.
And you know what? Hey, Disney, immediately schedule season 2. I know you guys planned on cutting it or already have. Get season 2 of Ahsoka going right away as soon as these writers get back. Yeah. But you don't really need them because you got George Lucas and Dave Filoni to start getting this thing rolling, right? Jon Favreau. Let's get everything rolling. Number 1, Kathleen Kennedy on the way out. She can't touch any of this stuff because they're finally making good product. If you want to save your company, Disney, Bob Iger, you put people like Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, and George Lucas guiding them and being their advisor. You're gonna blow the freak up when it comes to Star Wars, because there's people like me that are diehards that'll like just bought a nice lightsaber this week.
How many does that make you have?
No, I've had cheap ones. I mean, I just had like the $30 ones. I actually bought a nice one, but which I was going to bring it for this episode.
You should have brought it.
I was busy this morning when I was getting ready for work. So that being said, there's people like me that are diehards that read the books, that watch the shows, that watch the original trilogy a million times. They love Ahsoka. They like The Mandalorian. They liked Boba Fett. But if you want to bring more people in, that feeling that you get from Star Wars, that young kids should get from Star Wars, people that watched in their 20s that watched the sequel trilogy thought that was good. If you want to really bring them in, have them come into the parks to see Disney, the Star Wars area and Disney's. Yeah. If you want them to buy the lightsabers, the toys, the figures, if you want them to do those things, you got to make quality product, and you have finally made some quality products. The first thing is that the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian were quality. Ahsoka is real Star Wars, real quality. Get the movie. I know the movie's already still happening, but get season 2 of Ahsoka going.
Yes.
All right, that's what we want.
Don't make me wait for Thrawn, bro.
Listen to the people that spend money, who have always spent money, who've read all the books, who are into this. Listen to us.
Disposable income. Old people.
We're old people, but also we need to get the young people in it, like his daughter.
Oh my gosh, she's loving it.
So if she's loving it, and then you could bring out some more crap like the Acolyte or the Skeleton Crew, which everybody knows is going to be crap, because Kathleen Kennedy and Lena Headley or whatever her name is, they don't care about George Lucas's vision and carrying on what Star Wars truly is. Get your head out of your ass. Get season 2 of Ahsoka going. Get rid of all these non-believers in Star Wars and start getting real Star Wars made, because then the young people are going to go, oh, I get this weird feeling when I watch Star Wars. And I make a connection to it. Well, those are young adolescent boys and 50-year-old perverts feelings. But yeah, she does have a great butt. And she's older, so we can we can't look at any of the younger.
No, it's weird.
I don't like skinny people, so Sabine Wren doesn't. But Rosario Dawson, very hot. But Elizabeth Winstead, you know when I fell for Elizabeth Winstead, she was in that superhero school movie with
you in that superhero school.
What is it? What was it called?
Superhero High or something.
Something like that. Sky High.
Sky High.
Sky High. She was in there. She played
Kurt
like
Russell.
the bad. She played like actually. She tried to be all nice and stuff, but she was really evil.
Yeah.
She was holy crap. You go watch that. She
Look,
was a smoke show. She
I
still
found
is.
her in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh yes, yeah. Oh, she is unbelievably attractive woman. Ewan McGregor. Come on,
Force
come on.
was with him.
Ewan McGregor.
Force was.
You got
strong
some
with
good
him.
taste, brother. You got some taste.
Yep.
Obi-Wan. Yes. You know, the last thing I want to bring up is I send you a lot of clips, right?
You do, and I love them.
Okay. What is your favorite? We gotta bring these guys up next time. The guys who do the faceovers
Yes,
of Anakin, Obi-Wan.
Comedy.
They put the face over like, and they
One
make
where Qui-Gon is like, another lady got shivved by a lightsaber and lived.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what's going on with me?
he starts off like,
Why does
and then he
everyone
goes,
getting
and then she gets saved. He's like, it's like hilarious. And then today I was watching one where Anakin was getting married to Padme, and they were like, going, Anakin, I didn't get invited to your wedding. It's like, R2 was there. It's hilarious. Look for those up. They're like Force ghosts.
Yeah. I'll try to find him and contact him.
It is hilarious. Every time I see those, if I see a new one, I always sit and watch it. I mean, they are really good. There's a lot of fun stuff in the Star Wars universe, but please, Disney, season 2 of Ahsoka,
now
keep making this stuff. Dave Filoni is your leader, advised by the ultimate leader, the master, George Lucas. Jon Favreau planning the whole future out along with Dave Filoni and George Lucas. And then you're bringing other people in who want to do that vision, not people that want to change it and make it their own and want to change stuff in the story and the retcon things. We don't want any of that crap.
Screw the retcons.
We don't want your vision. We want George Lucas's vision. It's what you paid $4 billion for. Use it because you will have success. That's all I got to say.
All right. You going to get us out of here? Or do you want me to?
Roseville Strength and Conditioning, the RECOUP Room is also linked on my website, rosevillesc.com.
Discount Brad.
No discount. I keep the prices pretty low on it. So if you would like to come in and use the RECOUP Room and you have some injuries or you just want to relax
and you want to watch
contact me.
Ahsoka.
No, there's no TV in
with
there.
assless chaps. You can put on the phone. You got Wi-Fi.
Well, yeah, you can watch it on the phone. So we'll be back with another episode. We'll talk some fitness. We'll talk some Ahsoka. Ahsoka. I mean, probably. Well, we were trying to do each week episode, but last week I got food poisoning, and it was violent food poisoning, and I was out all day Thursday, which is when we were going to film the podcast. So
this time he's the weak.
Yes, normally he's the one who can't do it, but last week it was me, so we had to do 2 episodes today. But next week we will plan on doing a full Ahsoka episode breakdown.
Yes,
and maybe we'll get more details of what's in this other galaxy, and then we can start going. Oh, let's start diving into this.
Sex talk with your
no, we won't be talking any RECOUP stuff. No, none of the massage stuff. So.
All right, you got about 8 minutes before your next client comes.
Yeah, so we got to break everything down. So have a great day and watch Ahsoka episode 6, and hopefully we see Thrawn next episode.
We out.